Most people are not bad with money. They are moving through money without a map. They earn it, spend it, try to save what is left, maybe invest a little, then wonder why wealth still feels far away. But money does follow a path. And once you see that path, you stop guessing. You stop treating money like random numbers moving in and out of your account. You start seeing the system: income, margin, protection, assets, compounding, freedom. That is the simple map of money. And if you understand it, your financial life starts to make more sense. Welcome to Capital Mind. Think clearly about money. In this video, we are going to build that map step by step, and by the end, you will know exactly where you are on it. The first point on the map is income. Income is where most people start. A salary, a paycheck, a business, a side hustle, a commission, a client payment. Money enters your life because you trade something for it: time, skill, labor, attention, risk, knowledge. Most people think income is the whole game. If I earn more, I will be fine. If I get promoted, I will be safe. If I make 6 figures, wealth will finally start. But income is only the entrance. It is not the destination. Because income tells you how much money comes in. It does not tell you how much control you actually have. Someone can earn $4,000 a month and feel broke. Someone else can earn $8,000 a month and still feel trapped. Not because income does not matter. Income matters a lot, but income is only powerful when some of it survives. That brings us to the second point on the map: margin. Margin is the money left after life takes its share. Not your salary, not your gross income, not the number that looks impressive on paper. Your margin. If you earn $5,000 a month, but rent, food, insurance, car payments, debt, subscriptions, and bills take $4,800, your real financial power is not $5,000. It is $200. That is the money you actually control. That is the money that can become savings, emergency protection, investments, business capital, freedom. Margin is where wealth begins, not income. Margin. This is why some people earn more and still never build wealth. Every raise becomes a bigger lifestyle. Every bonus becomes a purchase. Every increase in income becomes a new monthly obligation. A nicer apartment, a newer car, a better phone, more convenience, more subscriptions, more comfort. Nothing crazy, nothing irresponsible. Just a life that slowly expands until the margin disappears again. This is lifestyle creep. And lifestyle creep is dangerous because it does not feel like failure. It feels like progress. But if your lifestyle rises every time your income rises, you are not building wealth. You are building overhead. The first rule of the money map is simple. Income creates the opportunity. Margin creates the power. The third point on the map is protection. This is where many people make a mistake. They try to jump from income straight to investing. They want stocks, crypto, real estate, business ideas, fast growth. But if you have no protection, every emergency can force you backward. A car repair, a medical bill, a late payment, a job loss, a surprise expense. Without protection, life does not just interrupt your plan, it attacks your plan. That is why protection comes before aggressive growth. Protection means building a buffer, not a perfect financial life. Not 6 months of expenses immediately, just enough distance between you and panic. $500, then $1,000, then 1 month of expenses, then more. A buffer changes the emotional reality of money. Without a buffer, every surprise becomes an emergency. With a buffer, the same surprise becomes annoying, but survivable. And that difference matters. Because panic is expensive. Panic creates credit card debt, late fees, bad loans, desperate decisions. Protection also means controlling dangerous debt. Not all debt is equal. Some debt can help you buy an asset, build a business, or increase future earning power. But consumer debt is different. Credit card balances, high-interest loans, payments on things that are already gone. This kind of debt does not just take money from you. It claims future income before you even earn it. That is why debt can make a person feel like they are working hard, but never moving. The money arrives, but part of it already belongs to the past. Protection is not exciting. It does not look impressive. Nobody brags about having an emergency fund. But protection gives you something more valuable than excitement. It gives you stability. And stability gives you the ability to make better decisions. Here is the part most people get wrong. They think the goal is to look wealthy. But looking wealthy is often what keeps people from becoming wealthy. A bigger car can look like progress. A more expensive apartment can look like progress. A luxury purchase can look like success. But if it destroys your margin, increases your debt, or keeps you one emergency away from panic, it is not wealth. It is pressure wearing expensive clothes. The fourth point on the map is assets. This is where money starts to change character. Up to this point, money enters your life as income. Then it survives as margin. Then it becomes protection. But wealth begins when money starts buying things that can work without you. Assets. An asset is not just something expensive. An asset is something that can store value, produce income, appreciate over time, or increase your ability to earn. Stocks can be assets. Index funds can be assets. Real estate can be an asset. A profitable business can be an asset. A valuable skill can act like an asset. Software, intellectual property, tools, systems. Even a reputation can become an asset if it creates future income. The key idea is this: poor money disappears. Middle-class money often gets trapped in payments. Wealth-building money is converted into assets. This is the shift most people never make. They earn money, they spend money, they save a little. Then life happens, and the savings disappear. But wealthy people try to move money into systems that can keep producing value. Not always perfectly, not without risk, but consistently. They ask a different question. Not just, can I afford this? But, will this help me own more of my future? That question changes everything. A car payment may give comfort, but does it create margin or destroy it? A subscription may feel small, but does it support your life or quietly leak money? A course may cost money, but does it increase your earning power? An investment may fluctuate, but does it give your money a chance to grow beyond cash? The goal is not to avoid spending. The goal is to understand what your spending becomes. Some spending disappears immediately. Some spending buys convenience. Some spending buys status. Some spending buys relief. But the best spending buys future freedom. That is what assets do. They turn money from something you use into something that can work. The fifth point on the map is compounding. This is the part everyone hears about, but few people truly respect. Compounding is not magic. It is time multiplied by consistency. Small amounts, repeated, left alone, allowed to grow. $100 invested once does not look powerful, but $100 invested again and again, every month, for years, starts becoming something different. Not because the number was huge, but because the system kept repeating. That is the hidden power of compounding. At the beginning, it looks almost boring. A small contribution, a small gain, a tiny amount of progress. Nothing dramatic, nothing viral, nothing that makes you feel rich. So many people quit before compounding has time to become visible. They interrupt it, withdraw it, trade it, spend it, chase something faster. But compounding rewards patience because time is part of the formula. The first stage feels slow. The second stage feels steady. The third stage starts to surprise you. And later, the growth can begin to feel bigger than the effort. That is why the rich often seem to get richer faster. It is not always because they work harder. It is because they already own assets that compound. Money makes more money. Networks create more opportunity. Businesses create cash flow. Investments participate in growth. Capital attracts more capital. This is where the map becomes unfair, but also useful, because once you understand it, you stop trying to win only through effort. You start trying to convert effort into assets, then assets into compounding, then compounding into freedom. The sixth point on the map is freedom. Freedom is not necessarily being rich enough to buy anything. Freedom is having fewer parts of your life controlled by financial pressure. Freedom is not needing every paycheck just to survive. Freedom is having options. The option to leave a bad job, the option to handle an emergency, the option to say no, the option to wait, the option to choose better work, the option to take a calculated risk, the option to stop making every decision from fear. That is what money is really buying. Not just things, options. This is why wealth is not only about income. A high-income person with no margin, high debt, and no assets may still feel trapped. A moderate-income person with margin, protection, and growing assets may be quietly becoming free. The outside world may not notice the difference at first, but the map knows. Income is not freedom. Margin is the beginning. Protection creates stability. Assets create leverage. Compounding creates momentum. And together, they create options. Now let's connect the full map. Step 1. Income. Money enters. Step 2. Margin. Some of it survives. Step 3. Protection. That surviving money builds a wall between you and panic. Step 4. Assets. Money begins moving into things that can grow, produce, or increase your future power. Step 5. Compounding. Time and consistency start doing part of the work. Step 6. Freedom. Your life becomes less dependent on the next paycheck. That is the map. Income to margin. Margin to protection. Protection to assets. Assets to compounding. Compounding to freedom. Most people never see the whole path. They focus on one piece. Some chase income but spend all of it. Some save money but never invest. Some invest while drowning in high-interest debt. Some buy assets but have no emergency buffer, so they sell at the worst moment. Some want freedom but never protect margin. That is why the map matters. It shows order, because doing the right thing in the wrong order can still keep you stuck. Investing is good, but investing while your life collapses from one small emergency is fragile. Earning more is good, but earning more while lifestyle creep eats every raise does not build wealth. Saving is good, but saving cash forever while inflation quietly weakens it is incomplete. Paying debt is good, but paying debt while creating new debt every month is a loop. The map is not complicated, but it is unforgiving. Money that does not survive cannot protect you. Money that does not protect you cannot be invested consistently. Money that is not invested cannot compound. And money that does not compound rarely creates freedom. So the real question is not, how do I get rich fast? The better question is, where am I on the map? Do I need more income? Do I need more margin? Do I need protection? Do I need to kill dangerous debt? Do I need to start buying assets? Do I need to stop interrupting compounding? Do I need to stop confusing looking successful with becoming free? That question is powerful because it makes money personal. Not in a shameful way, in a clear way. You do not fix your financial life by copying someone else's step. You fix it by knowing where you are. If you have no margin, the next move is not complicated investing. It is creating space. If you have no buffer, the next move is protection. If high-interest debt is eating your future, the next move is reducing the leak. If you have margin and protection, the next move is assets. If you already own assets, the next move is consistency and time. Every stage has a job. And when you do the right job at the right stage, money becomes less confusing. That is the simple map of money. Not a secret, not a shortcut, not a promise that wealth will be easy. A map. And a map does not walk the road for you, but it stops you from walking in circles. Because once you understand the path, you stop asking only, how much do I make? You start asking, how much do I keep? How much is protected? How much is working? How much is compounding? How much of my life is still owned by the next paycheck? That is how wealth actually works. Not all at once, not overnight, but through a path. Income, margin, protection, assets, compounding, freedom. And if you want to find your margin first, watch the video next where we break down why saving money feels impossible now. Because the map starts with one question: how much of your money actually survives? This is Capital Mind. Think clearly about money. Income, margin, protection, assets, compounding, freedom. That is the simple map of money.